Okay. Hey there, it's me, Corey. Um, it could be a very different video for my channel, because I needed to kind of bridge the gap between my time on like social media versus now on YouTube. I have a little bit of a script here, but I just wrote it. It's just to keep me on track on what I'm talking about. So now for anybody who knew me back in like high school or back when I was on Instagram early, yeah, back in high school, right after high school. Um, you might remember a very different me than the people who see me on YouTube will remember or know now. And I wanted to bridge the continuity between that part of my life and this part of my life now. So for anybody who might have knew me back then and sees me now and doesn't really understand how I got from there to now, and why I was the way I was, I want to talk about that now so I can continue forward and maybe bridge some of those gaps, those bridges I might have burned back in the day. So, um, I'll talk about everything that happened for those who know, and then I'll explain for anyone who's new what how it went. For the most part, I'll keep things mostly vague, no personal information about myself or anything like that. But there's a video I felt like I needed to make. It only felt right too. And now that I'm in the right headspace to do it, I'm doing better. Now I like to talk about it. Um, so back in high school, I got exposed. I don't want to get into any more than that, but I got exposed back in high school. My friends knew and everything like that. I got exposed, and that took a bit of a toll on me. I did try to do a couple of I tried to do something that you should never try to do, and if you ever feel like you need to do something like that or want to do something like that, you should definitely reach out and go get help. Um, After high school, I graduated, and then the coronavirus happened, and I spent nearly an entire year of my life just inside of my mom's apartment, scared of what the world was going to become and what was going to be outside. I couldn't even leave the house. I was that terrified. Um, then one had some relationship issues that was awful. That's as far as I'll go into that. If you know, you know. Um, and then my cousin passed away. That took a very big toll on me. I didn't know her very well, but I had lived with her for a while, and she passed away, and that took a toll on me. Then maybe a year, 6 months after that, my ex, I learned that they had died in a car accident. That shook me to my core. That was the first person I'd really ever been in a relationship with, and that shook me into the core because we had just started talking to each other again, not romantically, but we just started talking to each other again. And for that to happen right after talking to them, it took a very big toll on me. After that, I had some more relationship issues. They were very bad. It was a very bad time in my life. Moved around a lot, and that takes its toll if you know about moving from state to state. It isn't a fun time, and especially me, I've been doing it my entire life, so it was pretty awful to uproot again and have to move around constantly. Um, then my aunt passed away after that. Um, Then almost immediately after that, not more than 1 or 2 months after that, my grandma, who was my best friend my entire life, she passed away, and from that point, I was mentally broken. I was fully beginning to break. I mean, it was one domino after the next, and it just took its toll on me. I didn't know what to do, who I would be, where I was going, what my life would even hold in store. Um, Mind you, the coronavirus is still going on harshly. I mean, it's not even gone to this day, but it was still the pandemic fully. Um, and I was completely broken mentally. And at this point, I don't know. It's a if you know, you know type of thing, but at this point, the internet's really started to change how algorithms worked and what would be recommended to people and types of things that would be recommended to people, the purpose of things being recommended to people really started to change. And my algorithm, especially it, on all of my social medias, I mean, I couldn't escape it. Maybe it was the type of content I enjoyed before. Maybe it was what the algorithm thought it should recommend to me. It had turned into, well, if you see it now, you see it now, the nonstop brain rot, uh, a meme referencing a meme referencing a meme. And for some reason, my social media, well, I can't blame it on just the social media. I mean, it was the guy who I was at the time. It was either brain rot, slop, or half naked women to lust over every day. And well, when half of your family is gone, that just is not what you want to be seeing. I mean, at this point, it was like the final nail in the coffin for my mental state at the time. I was going through it just hoping. I mean, I couldn't even deal with the outside world. Um, I had no one to lean on, and anytime I looked at my phone, which I was so addicted to at the time, it was nothing that could even ground me in reality. It was nonsense. It was utter nonsense, utter garbage, utter. It was just trash, and have anything around me that I could just latch to, and being so far away from any sort of friends or anyone who I cared about and could felt that I could talk to. It 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 was like a tornado full of fire inside of my brain. And then after that, mm, another one of my aunts uh, died, passed away. And at this point, I literally was nonsensical. My brain no longer could make sense of the world around me. And in my like semi-lucid state, I guess I would call it having a full psychosis episode, having a full psychotic breakdown at this point in my life, not knowing what was going on. I tried to like reach out to anyone that I could, but my brain couldn't make any sort of sense is the best way to put it. My brain couldn't like relate to reality, and I was texting people just utter nonsense. I mean, I remember it at that time. It was like my brain thought it was making sense and just trying to explain to people what was going on or how I felt or what I was just it was just like schizo posting, really. It was rough. Like I was just posting and just trying to show people, God, I can't even think straight. Like that's how I felt at the time. That's what I'm saying. After all that trauma, my brain couldn't cope, and I was just using whatever I had at my disposal to just try to get someone to reach out or trying to like cry out for help, I guess is the best way to put it. Um, and I don't mean to bring up the dead at all, but it was like the only thing I could really relate it to is like Etika, Ethica, Etika. I RIP. And I was just like, dude, like nothing in my brain made any sense. And I'm I'm so glad that that self-preservation part of me was there, and I I made new people in my life after pushing away all the people who are currently in my life. And somehow I made it through. I was still broken, damaged for a long time, lashing out at people, and I made it back home to my mom. And even then, I still wasn't okay. I mean, I was making more sense. I was doing more. Even through all this, I was able to have a job, so I was able to save up money and started reading again and trying to relate to my life. But again, and I feel some sense of normalcy. You know, it was easy to hide when I was living around people who didn't know me so well, but I was still in that semi-lucid, half psychotic state for a long time. And when I came home, like the only place that really feels like home is when I was around my mom. And so when I finally got back there, I got the help I needed. And it's been years since then. It's been years. Um, and I haven't been able to acknowledge any of it. And can't imagine how like damaging that must be for anyone who knew me back then, you know. Went from a student, honor roll student, doing dual enrollment and everything like that, and just mess of a man. And none of them knew what was going on. I wasn't able to express that was feeling the way I was because so many people had died, so many things had happened, so much trauma happened that like my brain couldn't even comprehend life anymore. And I'm just I just wanted to make this video in order to bridge that gap, and hopefully I'm not gonna like do anything stupid like send this to those people who I messed up our relationships and friendships and things like that. But I wanted to make this video to at least show that I acknowledge it, everything that happened. I'm not sweeping it under the rug. I'm not pretending it didn't happen. I I care about all of you, all my old friends and everything like that, and I'm hoping to you being in my life again if you ever want to, but I wanted to make this video just to acknowledge everything that happened, why I was acting the way I was acting years ago. I mean, geez, that was like 5 years ago, but still, I want to acknowledge it. I want to, I don't want to leave anybody feeling like I would doubt in a way like that, and just leave them with that feeling and then come back to a normal life and then just forget about them. And that's really how I want to end this video. No fancy fanfare, any channel updates. I'll do it in the next video. I'll make some sort of post about this on my old social medias that I still use them, but I'll make some sort of post there just to link to this video to acknowledge, you know, everything. You know, nothing's changing on the channel. Nothing. I'm still going forward. I have lots of things planned. I have lots of things I'm working on, and those updates will come when they come. But it felt like I needed to acknowledge the people who helped me get to where I am now. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm still here, pushing along. Gonna be keeping up with this YouTube channel. I got some big videos planned, some events going to, and it'll all be here. So thank you for watching. And this is Corey signing off.